Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. Continuing to see cloudy conditions out there this morning, although starting to see the bases rise slightly and some breaks in that low-level cloud deck, seeing temperatures in the mid-60s and still a light breeze out there this morning. Overall, should see quiet weather as we move through our working hours today. We'll see a return of a chance of showers and maybe even a thunderstorm during the overnight hours this evening, and then as we move through the next couple of days, seeing a daily chance of showers and storms before we hit a stretch of a mostly dry weather period towards the end of the weekend and into next week. If we take a look at the current surface analysis, area of low pressure along the coast tracking off to the northeast, pulling away. We'll see high pressure briefly in control here before this boundary to our south that's stationary right now will slowly start lifting northward. That's going to bring the round of showers later on this evening. Looking at the upper level winds from this morning, sounding some west-northwesterly winds near the surface, becoming westerly as we move up through the column, and slightly west-southwesterly as we get in the upper levels here. Staying around 20 to 30 knots through the column with our peak wind of 35 knots at 25,000 feet. And the freezing level this morning is at 14,200 feet. Take a look at the current visible satellite. We see plenty of high clouds streaming through the area and starting to see some fractures in that low-level cloud deck across the peninsula here, and expect that trend to continue as we move through the day today. Take a look at the high-resolution model for the next couple days. As mentioned, dry weather will continue as we move through the day today and should see fairly quiet and seasonable conditions. We'll start to see a few peaks of sun as we get into the afternoon before becoming overcast once again as we see this boundary lifting northward through the area. Is going to bring some shower activity, mainly as we pass the 10 p.m. time frame, with mainly just shower activity, but I can't rule out a moderate shower and possibly a thunderstorm as we move through that overnight time frame. As we get past the 2 a.m. time frame, just a chance of a lingering shower around the area before that pulls out as we get into the start of the day on Friday. Moving through the day Friday, we'll start off dry, but can't rule out a pop-up shower, particularly as we get into the afternoon time frame. A pop-up shower or thunderstorm is possible ahead of a more significant boundary pushing through the area that will likely arrive later in the afternoon and into the evening time frame, bringing the best chance for some widely covering showers and storms along that boundary, pushing through again later in the afternoon into the evening time frame. We'll see that start to wrap up behind the front as we go into the early morning hours of Saturday, and then once again we'll start Saturday off dry, and we'll have a second boundary approaching the area. It's going to bring another chance for some showers and storms, mainly during the afternoon time frame on Saturday, and then that should start to wrap up as we go into the overnight time frame, setting up for a stretch of dry weather starting as we move through the day on Sunday. If we zoom out, look at the longer term forecast here, we'll see high pressure trying to settle in over the area as we move through Sunday and into the beginning of our next work week, with high pressure in control over much of the eastern part of the country. We're still seeing some upper level troughing over the area. Models are trying to indicate a slight chance or a very slight chance of an isolated shower popping up in the region on Monday, so can't rule that out right now. It looks like a low chance, around 15, maybe 20% during the afternoon time frame, quickly dying off as we go into the evening, and then moving through Tuesday, things looking mainly dry with high pressure in control. We'll see this upper level low lingering just off the coast, possibly destabilizing things enough for another chance of an isolated pop-up shower on Wednesday, as models are indicating, but a bit far out to really narrow that down at this time, but that possibility is there, albeit low at this time. It does look like we could see a return of some wet weather moving in as we get towards the end of the work week and into the beginning of the weekend. So our 24-hour weather risk chart for today, we do have green conditions as we move through our working hours today. Temperatures fairly seasonable with a high around 74 degrees this afternoon. We'll see winds turning more westerly to southwesterly as we get into the afternoon, around 5 to 10 knots. Peak winds up around 15 knots. And again, seeing that low cloud deck start to clear out of here with some peaks of sunshine pushing through as we get into the afternoon. But we'll see those clouds building back in as that warm front lifts into the area as we go into the evening, picking up that orange risk of precip again, mainly after that 10 p.m. time frame when that shower activity should push through the area and we will see a yellow risk for lightning with a slight chance of seeing a thunderstorm embedded within that activity. Should see most of that wrapping up as we pass the 2 a.m. time frame, but keeping a yellow risk around for the chance of a shower lingering in the area, and do have a yellow risk for reduced ceilings and visibilities with a chance for some low clouds and restricted visibilities on the back end of that precip activity. Our low temperature staying slightly above average with a low around 63 degrees. Tides are running normal. And looking at the extended forecast here, again, as mentioned, Friday, we'll see dry conditions to start today, and then another good chance of seeing showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon and into the evening time frame. Looks to be about a 70% chance at this time. We'll see some slightly breezy conditions, particularly later in the day, and with that shower activity and boundary pushing through, going to elevate those winds some. Storm Prediction Center does have a marginal risk for severe weather, with most likely just seeing some stronger wind gusts with some of those storms pushing through. Seeing temperatures continue in the mid-70s. That continues into Saturday. Once again, about a 60% chance of PM showers and thunderstorms with continued breezy conditions behind that first boundary, and then that second boundary coming through. We'll stay in the 70s as we move through the extended forecast, looking at nice conditions on Sunday, partly to mostly cloudy conditions, and that continues into Monday as well. With that's when we have that 15% chance of maybe an isolated pop-up shower, and then dry conditions and about a 10% chance of a pop-up shower on Wednesday as we start to approach some upper 70s, possibly even hitting 80 degrees as we get into the middle of the week. That's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.